News from around the globe. Hot, fresh, balanced and objective.
Hello and welcome to Unity News Hour. The headlines: PDP raises concern as Clark Ottomanders Obi reps warn EFCC against selling assets to looters. INEC warns against fake staff recruitment portal. And on the foreign scene, outrage at Israeli Minister Ben Gvir visit Al-Qasr Mosque. And in sports, Pele, millions bid football Orisha farewell. And those were the headlines, and for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayet Sani Ibrahim. The People's Democratic Party has said that the endorsement of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, by an elder statesman and leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, Chief Edwin Clark, on Tuesday, was further confirmed that the party must reconcile with the 5 aggrieved governors. The party's Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Ibrahim Abdullahi, said this in an interview with newsmen on Tuesday. While reacting to the endorsement by Clark, Clark had announced the endorsement at a press conference in Abuja barely 48 hours after a similar endorsement by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He disclosed that he had earlier directed the national leadership of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum to meet with Obi in Yanagwa. Bayelsa State, on December 23, 2022, the PDP's Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Abdullahi, said the party must reconcile with the aggrieved governors. Meanwhile, Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom, also on Tuesday, backed Obasanjo's endorsement of Obi. Ortom said if he was not a member of the PDP, he would have personally led Obi's campaign across the country. The National President Fulani Jam Youth Association Alhaji Saidu Maikano said they have endorsed the presidential candidate of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the PDP for the 2023 general elections. He made a statement Tuesday at the annual general meeting of the Fulani Youth and Hardos across Nigeria held in Jos, the Plateau State capital. He told newsmen that they sat and looked at the forthcoming general elections and think on what will help their people, because in the previous elections, they only go with a single party, but now they will only endorse a candidate based on recommendations from the people from various states of the country. The national youth leader called on his followers to vote a specific candidate as president, but said he would not talk about any governorship candidate. He said Atiku Abubakar is his favorite candidate based on his qualities and care for them, which informed their decision to endorse him. Maikano alleged that Obasanjo dislikes Northern Nigeria as he fought Atiku even when they were president and vice president. According to him, Atiku was the most dogged vice president that Nigeria ever had. Maikano directed Fulani to go back to their respective states and vote for only governorship candidates that would treat them as first-class citizens of where they live. The House of Representatives and Ad Hoc Committee of Assessment and Status of all recovered loot, movable and immovable assets from 2022 to 2020 by agencies of the federal government of Nigeria for effective, efficient management and utilization had urged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to prevent looters from recovering their loot in the ongoing auction of seized and forfeited assets. The committee chairman Adejoro Adiogun, while noting that his panel had earlier recommended speedy disposal of recovered loot, especially fixed asset, expressed the possibility of looters recovering the forfeited assets by proxy. Adiogun, however, stated that the committee will continue with its investigation despite the sales. The EFCC on December 6, 2022, commenced inspection and auction of 649 forfeited vehicles located across 9 states and the Federal Capital Territory through appointed auctioneers. Other assets listed for auction were 15 vessels and barges in rivers, Delta and Lagos states, about 39 mobile phones, 11 laptops and other devices. The Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee has opened an invitation for lawyers to apply for the 2023 award for the rank of Senior Advocates of Nigeria at 1 million naira per application. The LPPC, in a notice issued by its Secretary, Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court, Hajj Bello, stated that the purchase of the application, which began on January 1, will end on March 31, 2023, in the notice obtained by the branch on Tuesday. It stated that the invitation was in accordance with the provision of Section 5, Subsection 2 of the Legal Practitioners Act, Cap L 11 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and Regulation 10 Sub 1, Subsection 4 of the Guidelines for the Conferment of the Rank of Senior Advocates of Nigeria 2002. It further directed prospective applicants that an applicant must pay a non-refundable processing fee of 1 million naira only to any of the bank accounts. The check of dues deducted by the federal government from the November 2002 salaries of university lecturers were not remitted into the account of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The Punch's Land Chief check of due is the money deducted from an employee paid for membership in a union or an organization that represent workers in a particular industry. Speaking with our correspondent in Abuja, the chairman of the Federal University of Technology, Mina chapter of ASU, Professor Gbolahan Bolarin, confirmed to our correspondents that the government failed to remit the check of dues for November. The spokesperson of the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Olajide Oshundun, in an interview with our correspondent, justified the government's decision on the check of dues, but Bolarin faulted the ministry's position on the audit report, insisting that ASU submitted the said report. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the 2003 budget of 21.83 trillion naira along with the 2022 supplementary appropriation bill into law. Buhari signed the 2023 transition budget Tuesday morning at the council chambers of the presidential villa, Abuja. In the presence of Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, Senate President Ahmed Lawal, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, and other members of the Federal Executive Council. Speaking at the event, the president said the budget is 21.83 trillion naira aggregated expenditure, an increase 1.32 trillion naira over the initial executive proposal of 20.51 trillion naira. While commending the National Assembly for its near seamless relationship with the executive arm, Buhari urged the legislature to reconsider its stance on his proposal to securitize, the federal government's outstanding ways and means balance at the Central Bank of Nigeria. Failure to grant the securitization approval he warned will cost the government about 1.8 trillion naira in additional interest in 2023 and a 40-year repayment period on the securitized debt. Buhari's appeal comes barely 1 week after the Senate rejected his request to restructure the 22.7 trillion naira Ways and Means advance. He said the 2002 Supplementary Appropriation Act would enable his regime to respond to the havoc caused by the recent nationwide floods on infrastructure and agriculture sectors. The Independent National Electoral Commission has again cautioned Nigerians against a purported portal for the recruitment of ad hoc staff 2023 general election. INEC says this is a short message by Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman Rotimi Oyekami on Tuesday in Abuja. Oyekami said that the portal was fake as the Commission was no longer recruiting for the election as its official website for recruitment have been shut down. It was reported that INEC had on October 5, 2002 raised alarm on similar fake of ad hoc recruitment link in inecnigeria.gov.service.site being circulated online. Now reports that the Commission on September 7, 2022 announced that official recruitment portal for 2023 general election www.press.inecnigeria.org will be opened to the public on Wednesday, September 14, 2022 by 8 a.m. and will be closed on Wednesday, December 14 by 8 p.m. And on the foreign scene, criticism have trailed the visit of the extreme right Israeli Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir to Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque compound for the first time since becoming a minister Ben-Gvir visited the temple located in the Holy Land of East Jerusalem on Tuesday, angering Palestinians who see the visit as a provocation. The Times of Israel said Ben-Gvir's visit on Tuesday came days after he was sworn in as National Security Minister, a position that gives him powers over the police. Jordan and other Arab and Muslim nations have condemned Ben-Gvir's visit, calling it a direct provocation. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the world's second oldest after Kaaba in Mecca. Although Muslim tradition dates as Al-Aqsa back to Isaac's son Jacob, the mosque was built at its present location by Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik, his son Al-Walid, and completed in 705 CE. And in sports, Pele was buried in his final resting place Tuesday as millions of fans in Brazil and around the world mourn the sports legend. Newly inaugurated President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva paid his respects at Vila Belmiro, the stadium where Pele played for most of his career. Pele was being laid to rest in the city where he grew up, became famous, and helped make into a global capital of his sport. Mass was held at the Vila Belmiro Stadium before the black casket was driven through the streets of the city of Santos in a fire truck. It was taken into the cemetery as bands played the Santos team's official song and a Catholic hymn. Before the golden wrap casket arrived, attendees sang samba songs that Pele had liked. FIFA President Gianni Infantino told journalists that every country should name a stadium after Pele. With this story, we come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at TUNTBE Radio FM TV, respectively. My name is Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our program.
Unity.